you how I feel. So I'm tired of all the pain, of the misery inside, and I wish that I could live feeling nothing but the night. You can tell me what to say, you can tell me where to go, but I doubt that I would care, and my heart would never know. If I make another move, there'll be no more turning back, because everything will change and it all will fade to black. Will tomorrow ever come? Will I make it through the night? Will there ever be a place for the...
I'm pleased you could make it to this meeting, Rachel Alucard.
I suppose long time no see would be the appropriate response.
In your subjective time, it has been 19,792 hours, 41 minutes, 52 seconds.
Correct. For us, it has been 283,875 hours, 18 minutes, 24 seconds.
The difference between our subjective times is irrelevant.
How much of a discrepancy is there right now?
There is an observed 1 in 940,000 deviation from the predicted numbers.
Oh, interesting. You're saying almost nothing has changed?
Rachel Alucard, I think it is safe to say that there has been no change whatsoever. Even your hair remains unchanged.
So, nothing has changed. Although the word miracle is not exactly in our vocabulary, wouldn't you agree that your existence itself is a miracle of sorts?
Correct. We have, however, observed a rather intriguing change in the behavior of a certain mind.
Have you summoned me here simply to tell me that?
Why did you lift Restriction 0, Rachel Alucard?
We wish to know what you are trying to do with the Tsukuyomi unit.
Whatever my intentions for the Tsukuyomi unit, they have nothing to do with you.
Incorrect. Your actions in regard to the Tsukuyomi unit will impact our goals. We are currently re-evaluating the man's worth.
Indeed. Your actions do not seem to be entirely logical or even completely rational. Ragna the Blood Edge may be the origin, but he isn't where we should be focusing at this point.
We cannot understand what makes Ragna the Blood Edge so valuable, Rachel Alucard. I assume you are well aware of the value and significance of the Tsukuyomi unit?
Correct. It is impossible that Ragna the Blood Edge has greater value than the Susanoo unit. This is our conclusion.
I do not think his value is something you will ever understand.
We do not wish to meddle in your affairs, that much we will admit. That is why we accept the phenomenon that has occurred.
Affirmative. We will accept and then select appropriately.
Select? So you fancy yourselves gods now?
Negative. Takamagahara is a system built by humans. Anything which has been built by humans can never be designated as a god.
Furthermore, once a god has been observed, it can no longer continue to exist as a god and becomes nothing more than a thing.
Affirmative. The master unit is no exception.
And of course, the successor to the Azure, Noel Vermilion, is also governed by this rule.
Which is why, Rachel Alucard?
We would like to ask if you wish to become an observer of the boundary once again.
Although I very much enjoy keeping dogs as pets, my desires are not so twisted that I wish to become a lapdog myself.
Rachel Alucard, the outer perimeter is much closer to Takamagahara than you think.
Before you abandon the duties you have already accepted, please consider the amount of time that has already been invested in this endeavor.
Oh? I'm afraid I don't recall the precise amount.
Your response has been recorded and analyzed. We take it your answer is no.
How unfortunate. I had hoped things were going to be getting a little more enjoyable here again. Still, we had predicted that this would be the choice you would make.
We have already begun observation of the snake.
Then you were responsible for Terami's release.
Affirmative. We expect significant risk in initializing the destruction process.
He is really something of a maverick. Even we cannot govern him at times.
As such, we have prepared an exit strategy.
An exit strategy? Dare I ask what that might be?
Negative. We are unable to provide an answer to that query. Doing so would constitute unintended intervention.
Then you truly intend to reduce the world to nothing?
Nothing? Oh, don't be foolish. That would be pointless.
The world Takamagahara creates simply needs to be correct. In such a world, there would be no need for the master unit. It would only cause distortion.
Affirmative. Distortions caused by the master unit are currently being considered along with other possible outcomes as a result of the continuum shift.
The phenomena intervention of the master unit cannot be measured. As such, we spend too much time repairing its mistakes. We do not need any more accidents.
Affirmative. Takamagahara will initiate reconstruction without the intervention of the master unit.
Once again, the world will be back in the Azure.
Affirmative. The Azure will inherit the Takamagahara.
So long as the Azure exists, the world will exist as well, no matter what form it may take.
All forms of life return to the world of the Azure.
The breeze is so redolent with the scent of roses the average person might faint when smelling it. Nobody knows where Castle Alucard stands, but it is certainly always nice there. Valkenhayn stands in his grand garden tending to his mistress's beloved roses. They bloom brilliantly in the silverish blue light cast down by the moon. The roses are perfection as befits the heir to this realm, Rachel Alucard.
I should brew the tea forthwith. If it's not ready upon her return, I fear the consequences. Everything in due time, though. First I must set the table.
Valkenhayn leaves the garden for the moment, making his way to the terrace that overlooks the sea of blooms. He arranges the tea service bone china grit with a delicate rose motif, with the speed and flair born of long experience. Just as he sets the last cup into place, Valkenhayn feels a gust of wind sweep down from above. Madam Rachel should be returning soon.
I am home.
Welcome back, Madam Rachel. I've prepared your tea.
Thank you.
These tea leaves are the pride of Yamatsumi, so they say. And on the side, a fig scone I've baked myself.
It smells delicious, Valkenhayn. Many thanks. I needed this, assailed as I just was by that rabble of yammering provincials.
Uh-oh. Looks like the princess is in one of her moods.
Shh! Do you want her turning you into a dodgeball again?
I can make the change permanent this time if you'd like. The garden shears will make short work of those sad little wings of yours.
Ah! I think I'll pass.
Judging by your desire to prune ghee, I assume the meeting with Takamagahara did not go well?
I am forced to sit through the most inane gossip. But with them, when am I not? It felt like an eternity even by my standards.
Rachel lets out a vexed sigh and reaches for the teacup with her elegant fingers. Her features soften as the scent of tea and the roses begin to banish her cares.
It seems that they're going to be on the move.
Indeed. I do hope this doesn't lead to any trouble.
Oh, too late for that. It's Takamagahara that released that imp after all.
Imbeciles! Don't they know what that shitty little cur is capable of?
Valkenhayn's speech courses in a rare moment of rage. Rachel contemplates her teacup as the storm leaves Valkenhayn's face. He is the most unflappable manservant once again.
My profoundest apologies, milady. Such an outburst is unconscionable.
Not at all. He is a vile man. If he were not enough to incense you, I'd be rather concerned. I still cannot believe we must countenance his face yet again. How dare vermin such as he scurry out from the boundary?
Terumi.
Valkenhayn murmurs the hated name through clenched teeth. They had been brothers in arms once, but that was many years ago.
If only we'd been able to obliterate Terumi back when he failed to seal Lord Hakumen. Instead, we flung him into the boundary, free to bedevil us again. If someone had been there to help Lord Jubei and Lord Hakumen, history would have unfolded right differently.
Indeed. If you'd been at their side that day, our world would be much changed.
Madam Rachel,
But you never left my side. Even while I was in deep slumber, you maintained your vigil. I know that I complicated matters. Matters that would have otherwise been simple. Do you have any regrets?
Perish the thought. I exist to serve you. Even during the Dark War, I fought for your sake, Madam Rachel, and that of Lord Clovis. Knowing Terumi, I'm sure he waited for the very moment you were indisposed to take action. He's not looking for a fair fight, especially not against the likes of you, milady.
What a scoundrel.
Rachel scowls at the thought of him. Valkenhayn bites his lower lip, vexed, but not about to lose control for a second time.
But what is he thinking? Making his entrance onto the stage now?
He knows that conspiring with Takamagahara to destroy the Master Unit is the only path to true freedom, and he's brazen enough to try.
And Takamagahara is after Noelle Vermilion, the successor of the Azure. She's a bauble he can pilfer for them easily enough. Takamagahara's methods ring true. But why would Terumi beat around the bush so much? There must be more to his schemes.
Rachel falls silent, her brows furrowed with worry. Suddenly she sits up as though having remembered something important. She looks to her butler, her face again a mask of serenity at odds with her young frame.
Valkenhayn.
Yes, madam. I will investigate his motives and actions, impeding the latter whenever possible.
I'm counting on you.
I shall serve you to my utmost.
I fear I've intervened a bit too much.
What harm is there in it, so long as you do what you think is right? I dare say Clovis would agree.
I know he would. Father was never one to stand idly by, either. Valkenhayn, thank you for setting my mind at ease.
I shall treasure your gratitude always, milady.
Shall we be on our way?
Huh? Already? But we just got home!
You wouldn't want your tea to go to waste, would you, princess?
If you'd rather stay behind and hold down the proverbial fort, by all means do. Neither of you look fearful enough to be an effective guard, though. Some of my lightning should grizzle you up nicely.
Let's go, princess! Time's a-wasting!
I shall accompany you as well, madam.
Let us away, then, to the 13th hierarchical city, Kagutsuchi.
Yikes! Kagutsuchi's looking pretty rough!
Well, duh! Does the phrase, huge explosion at the NOL branch, ring any bells?
The damage is quite significant. I believe they tried to cover it up under the guise of a terrorist attack.
One by the name of Ragnar the Blood Edge.
Pardon my saying it, but given his track record, he is a plausible scapegoat. Now, I shall try to gather as much information as I can.
Many thanks. Oh, and one last thing, Valkenhayn. If you happen upon Jin Kisaragi, do escort him to the castle.
The hero?
His power of order is still incomplete. He's putty in Terumi's hands at present. But should the scales fall from his eyes, he'll make a powerful ally indeed.
But are you certain he is ready?
No, but better to know now if we're overestimating him.
Understood, milady. I'll be sure to bring him back should our paths cross. But what do you intend to do?
I'll go check on our other hero. He waits so patiently amid his chains. I can't help but assume that he likes such treatment. However, my agenda requires a change of locale.
He likes being chained up? Ooh!
Different strokes for different folks, Guy. Maybe you'll feel different about it when you're older. Mm-hmm.
Are you calling me a little kid? Huh? Huh?
Proceed with caution, Madam Rachel.
And you?
Well, I suppose I should be on my way then.
The explosion that rocked Kagutsuchi 3 nights ago was no laughing matter, as evinced by the shattered walls and the streets strewn with debris. The busiest areas have been cleared, to an extent, but the alleyways and back alleys that don't see much traffic are a different matter entirely. Valkenhayn quickly waves his way through one such alley in pursuit of a faint presence. Faint though it is, it's undeniably that of the Azure. There's only one man in Kagutsuchi capable of emitting such an aura, a man at whose uncouth speech Valkenhayn has shaken his head more than once. This is the opportunity the butler is not about to miss.
He's just ahead.
Damn it, Nirvana! You pile of...
Ragnar the Blood Edge, he just fell! I need to chase him. I need the Azure.
Tis but a scrape. A deep scrape, admittedly, but he's not the sort to succumb to such trifles. Though if he did, I wouldn't mourn the loss. That young lad, though, is Nirvana's current wielder. What's this?
Carl! Carl! Please, just hold on! Oh, these injuries are terrible! We must get you to a hospital straight away!
Ah, the garb of an Ikaruga ninja. I suppose I'll leave the boy in his care.
But wait! My ninja senses are a-tingle! Aha!
Huh?
Who goes there? Ah, terribly sorry. I'm not usually one to shout at the elderly. I hope my commanding tone didn't injure you.
I'm quite all right, thank you. Though I'm shocked you were able to sense my presence. The ninja of Ikaruga were keen indeed.
What?
Leave me be, Nirvana. I did not come here to fight you.
Carl's sister wouldn't attack you. Not unless you were a foe to us all!
Listen, I simply...
Save your breath, trickster! Bang Shishigami listens to no one! Now, have at thee!
Have it your way.
Bang Shishigami listens to no one. Now that at least is true. Yeah, he really does listen to nobody but himself. And even then, maybe not so much. Yeah, just gonna smack this whippersnapper around a wee bit. Okay, let's do this.
The well-fated time. Rebel 1.
Yeah,
Action.
righty.
Counter.
I'm back for more!
Let's begin.
Go. And you ain't half bad. Yeah, that could fight you.
This isn't...
Okay. So that me and then
I'm back for more! Opening!
I can try when he's out, he gets yeah, I can do that.
I'm back for more! Work on your tights, you can't! This is an Ukin!
Good thing, but no back. But yeah, you can use that wolf mode for about 10 seconds or something, so you can spam with it for a wee while. Anyway, bye-bye.
By the gods, you're strong!
Only just arrived, and already I've dirtied my clothes? Drat. I must laud your stamina, young man. The fact you can even move right now commends you.
You're no ordinary old man, are you? I am Bang Shishigami, ninja of love and justice. And who might you be?
Valkenhayn our Helsing, sirrah.
Valkenhayn? Wait! The Lord Valkenhayn of the legendary 6 heroes?
My version is rather more concise.
Oh my. I'm terribly, terribly sorry for my rudeness. I had no idea. But the 6 heroes were in their heyday during the Dark War, which was over 90 years ago. How can a man of your years still pack such a punch?
Clean living, perhaps?
But surely a hero strong enough to best the dreaded Black Beast can go on fighting well past the century mark. Amazing! But I should expect no less from one of the 6 heroes.
I thought Beastkin's longevity was common knowledge. Explaining anything to this man might take some time. A pleasure meeting you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some urgent matters to see to. You would do well to get that boy to a hospital, post-haste.
Right! Hang in there, Carl! We should probably be on our way!
Bang scoops up the hitherto forgotten Carl and disappears in a flash. Valkenhayn and Nirvana stare at each other in the deserted alley.
Stand down, Nirvana. I have no intention of harming that little boy. Or do you still bear a grudge against us for sealing you?
Nirvana is silent, of course. Perhaps her blank face is an answer enough. Valkenhayn lowers his gaze.
I regret what happened. But it was your master's, well, your previous master's choice to seal you away. How hard it was for Lady Celica to make that decision. On some level you must realize that, even now.
Nirvana is so still he wonders if she hurt him, but finally she lowers her sharp claws. Nirvana ambles off in the direction of the hospital, and backstage in Garl, leaving Valkenhayn alone with his thoughts. The sight of her is troubling, but he forces himself to watch her depart. Valkenhayn doesn't leave the alley until Nirvana has turned a distant corner and slipped out of sight. Gathering information is proving harder than Valkenhayn had expected. Resuming his search through Kagutsuchi, he sets foot in a district quite unlike any other on the mountain. This is Kaka village, home to the strange cat-like creatures from which it takes its name.
As I pass through this community, I wonder if they're really all that different from Beastkin. I can't recall the last time I've been away from the castle for this long. Well met, kittens. Please, don't be shy.
Meow. He talked! This old man smells like a dog. Or is it the other way around? Maybe he's dangerous. I'm gonna stare at him.
The Kaka kittens circle around Valkenhayn, too curious to scamper away, but too cautious to close in. The Kaka clan was founded upon the DNA of a cat, so the scent of Wolfman had set their tails on point.
A face older than mine. Oh, that's a rare treat.
I apologize for arriving unannounced, village elder.
It's been a dog's age, Lord Valkenhayn. Pardon the pun. We don't get much traffic from the 6 heroes as a rule.
All the more reason for me to regret this unannounced visit.
Lord Valkenhayn? Lord Valkenhayn, it is you. Meow. What brings you to the village?
Kaka, my dear. A pleasure as always.
Oh my, I didn't realize you two were friends.
I freelance for House Alucard from time to time.
Preparing the ladies' tea is one of the cornerstones of my duties. And Kaka always finds the choicest tea leaves for me. Speaking of which, I hear that Kaka's successor has already been named. I'd like very much to make her acquaintance.
Ah, yes, Tao. She's a restless one. She's out and about right now chasing some boy named Ragna.
Ragna?
Not the most serious cat in the litter, but I can vouch for her skills. Even Master Jubei recognizes her strength. Meow.
I have no reason to doubt her then. Good Master Jubei.
Jubei was one of the 6 heroes, as was Valkenhayn. They'd fought alongside one another during the Dark War. Valkenhayn's not heard his old comrade's name in quite some time, though. He smiles in spite of himself.
Do you see Jubei often?
No, only from time to time. He's a busy man. That said, we share a connection with him, whether near or far.
We were created using his genome, you know.
Indeed. Am I to believe then that you're here on Jubei's orders, Torikaka?
I can't go into detail, or even really confirm anything, but I brought platinum with me upon my return.
Valkenhayn frowns in confusion at Torikaka's answer. This is another name he was not expecting to hear, but this one does nothing to lighten his mood.
Platinum? Here? Has Jubei taken leave of his senses?
I don't think I'm at liberty to tell you much beyond that.
Then why even mention her at all?
Well, Master Jubei told me I should, if I ran into you.
And perhaps he wanted you to bring her, not the little girl.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing at all. Many thanks, Torikaka, for relaying Jubei's message.
Leaving so soon, Lord Valkenhayn.
As your master's actions suggest, there is much to do.
Please be careful. Right now, Kagutsuchi is...
Worry not about me, Torikaka. I know well its perils. Now I must take my leave of you.